Right now, at this very moment, you're making a choice that will shape the rest of your life. You might not realize it, but every time you look at your phone instead of your goals, every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you put someone else's dreams ahead of your own, you're making that choice. Stop for a moment. Pull out your wallet. Look at the money inside. You can always earn more money, can't you? Now look at your watch. Those seconds ticking by, they're gone forever. Your time is the only currency you can never earn back. Yet most people treat it like pocket change they can toss away without thinking. I watched a man last week spend 30 minutes complaining about not having enough time to pursue his dream. 30 minutes, that's enough time to write a page of his book, enough time to plan his business, enough time to change his life. But he spent it telling me why he couldn't change his life. Your personal worth isn't measured by your bank account or your job title. It's measured by how you spend those 24 precious hours you get each day. When you prioritize everyone else's emergencies over your own growth, you're not being noble, you're being negligent with your most valuable asset, your life. If you live to be 80 years old, you have exactly 29,200 days on this earth. How many have you already spent? How many are you willing to waste before you decide that you matter too? This isn't about being selfish. This is about being smart. This is about recognizing that you can't serve from an empty cup. And right now, many of you are trying to pour from a cup that's been dry for years. Each morning, you face a moment of truth. It happens when you look in the mirror, in those quiet seconds before the world starts making demand. That person looking back at you has dreams, ambitions, and unlimited potential. But here's the question that matters. Are you giving that person a fair chance to succeed? Most people rush through their morning routine, already thinking about their boss's expectations, their family's needs, their coworkers' demand. They check their phones before they check their goals. They plan their day around everyone else's schedule before considering their own priority. I spoke with a talented artist in Detroit last month. For 15 years, she woke up and immediately started preparing her family's breakfast, packing lunches, and answering work emails. Her paintings gathered dust in the corner while she lived according to others' timetables. One morning, she made a radical change. She woke up 1 hour earlier, not for others, but for herself. That 1 hour of pure, uninterrupted focus on her art has now turned into a thriving. The morning mirror shows you two possible futures. One where you continue to live by default, letting others write your story. Another where you take control, where you become the author of your own. The choice between these futures happens every single. Take control of your day before your day takes control of you. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being strict. When you start your morning by honoring your own priorities, you show up stronger for everyone else. And here's a truth that might sting. Nobody else will protect your time if you don't. Nobody else will guard your dreams if you... That reflection in the mirror is waiting for you to become its defender, its champion, its voice. I want you to try something tomorrow morning. Before you touch your phone, before you check your email, stand in front of your mirror for just 60. Look yourself in the eye and ask one simple question. What do I need today to move closer to my dreams? Then give yourself permission to put that need. The world is full of people living lives designed by others. They wake up to someone else's schedule, work toward someone else's goals, and go to bed wondering why they feel unfulfilled. Don't let that be your story. The morning mirror moment is your daily chance to choose different. Remember, every great achievement in human history started with someone who dared to put their dreams first. Edison didn't wait for permission to invent the light. Gandhi didn't ask for approval to change the world. They looked in the mirror each morning and chose to prioritize their vision, their purpose. Your morning mirror isn't just showing you a reflection. It's showing you a revolution waiting to happen. A revolution in how you value your time, how you honor your talents, how you prioritize. The only question is, are you ready to lead that revolution in your own life? Every morning, your life's bank account receives the exact same deposit, 24 hours. Not 25, not 23, exactly 24. That's 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. The rich don't get more, the poor don't get. It's the ultimate equalizer, but what makes the difference is how you invest these precious, how you guard your money. You check your bank balance, track your expenses, plan your investments, and worry about waste. Now, let me ask you, Do you track your time with the same fierce attention? Most people spend more time planning their grocery list than planning their life. I met a factory worker in Michigan who turned his life around with this simple idea. He started treating his time like money in a bank. Every activity became an investment decision. Television shows became withdrawals. Learning new skills became deposits. Mindless social media scrolling became theft from his own account. Within 18 months, he'd started his own business, teaching others the skills he learned during his previous television time. Here's the hard truth. You're either investing your time or spending it. There's no saving it. When you say yes to one thing, you're automatically saying no to something. That hour you spend watching random videos could have been invested in learning a new language, building a side business, or strengthening your... Consider this. If someone stole money from your bank account, you'd be outraged. You'd call the bank, file reports, demand justice. Yet every day you let people and activities steal your time without a second. The chatty coworker who burns 30 minutes of your morning, the endless meetings that could have been emails, the social obligations you accept out of guilt. These are all thieves of your time. Smart investors diversify their portfolios, and smart time investors diversify their personal. Your daily investments should include deposits in your physical health through exercise, your mental health through learning, your emotional health through meaningful relationships, and your financial health through focus. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to invest in everything at once. They spread themselves so thin that no single investment yields significant. The key is to make concentrated investments in the areas that matter most for your goals right now. I'll share a technique that's transformed thousands of lives. Take a week to track every single activity you do, just like tracking every dollar you spend. Write it down. 30 minutes on Instagram, 45 minutes complaining about work, 2 hours watching TV. At the end of the week, ask yourself, would I invest my money this careless? The answer will shock you into time debt is worse than financial debt because you can never earn back the time you... When you say, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll start next week, you're accumulating time debt that charges interest in the form of lost opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Start treating your schedule like your money. Create a time budget. Set aside the prime hours of your day when you're most energetic and focused for high-return activity. These are your big investments in your future. Learning, creating, building, growing. The rest of your hours are for necessary maintenance, routine work, essential chores, basic obligations. Look at your calendar right now. Is it filled with high-return investments or low-value expenses? Are you investing in activities that compound over time, like learning new skills, building meaningful relationships, and creating assets? Or are you spending your precious time currency on things that return? Remember this, at the end of each day, your time bank account resets to zero. You can't roll over unused minutes to tomorrow. You either invested them wisely or lost them. The choice of how to invest each new day's deposit of 24 hours, that's the only real choice. Here's a powerful truth that might make you uncomfortable. Your life is only as good as your ability to say no. That small word, just 2 letters long, holds more power to change your life than 1,000 yes responses ever could. But for many of you, it feels like the hardest word in the English language to say. Let me tell you about Michael, a talented software developer I met in Seattle. He said yes to every project, every meeting, every request for help. People called him the go-to guy. Sounds good, right? But here's what was really happening. His own projects were always behind. His health was suffering, and his dreams of starting his own company gathered dust on the One day, his doctor gave him a stark choice. Learn to say no or say goodbye to your... That wake-up call transformed Michael's life. He started treating his yes like a rare and valuable currency, not something to be given away to anyone who... Within 6 months, he'd completed his own projects ahead of schedule, lost 20 pounds, and launched the business he'd been postponing for 5, all because he learned the power of... Your energy is like a bank account that gets depleted with every yes. When you say yes to staying late at work, you're saying no to time with your family. When you say yes to helping everyone else with their projects, you're saying no to your own goal. When you say yes to every social invitation out of guilt, you're saying no to your own rest and recovery. The oxygen masks on airplanes, you must put yours on first before helping others. This isn't selfish. It's essential for survival. Yet how many of you give away your oxygen to everyone else, then wonder why you're struggling to... Here's a crucial distinction. Saying no doesn't make you negative, it makes you strategic. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying yes to your own growth, your own success, your own priority. I want you to try something right now. Think about all the times in the past week when you said yes, but meant no. How did each of those moments, that knot in your stomach, that slight hesitation before agreeing, that was your inner wisdom trying to protect your energy, trying to maintain your boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to better relationships. When you clearly communicate what you will and won't accept, you teach others how to... Every time you stand firm on your boundaries, you deposit more self-respect in your personal worth account. Let me share a technique that's helped countless professionals master the art of saying no. It's called the 24-hour. When someone asks you for something significant, always respond with, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you tomorrow." This simple pause gives you time to check in with yourself, evaluate the request against your priorities, and formulate a response that serves your goal. Your no doesn't require lengthy explanations or apologies. "I'm not able to take that on right now" is a complete "that doesn't fit with my current priorities" is a valid response. You don't need to set yourself on fire to keep others. Remember this. Successful people aren't successful because they say yes to they're successful because they say no to almost everything that doesn't directly contribute to their goal. Steve Jobs once said that he was as proud of the things Apple hadn't done as he was of the things they had. Start treating your yes like a VIP pass. Not everyone gets. When you receive a request, ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Will this move me closer to my dreams? Is this the best use of my energy? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then your answer should be no. The respect you desire from others starts with the respect you show yourself. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your growth, you say yes to your own. Every time you protect your energy, you invest in your future success. Every time you stand firm on your boundaries, you build a foundation for lasting. Your no is the chisel that sculpts your ideal life from the block of infinite possibility. Use it wisely, use it without guilt, and watch as your life transforms into exactly what you've always dreamed it could. Success isn't an accident. Nobody ever stumbled into greatness while looking the other way. Every remarkable achievement in history started with someone sitting down and creating a blueprint for their future. Today, right now, you're going to create. I met an Olympic athlete who shared something fascinating with me. She said, "People see the medal, but they don't see the blueprint." She showed me a worn notebook she'd kept for 6 years. Every day, without fail, she wrote down her goals, tracked her progress, and adjusted her approach. That notebook wasn't just paper and ink. It was her success blueprint. Your blueprint isn't just a list of goals. It's your personal success constitution. Think about building a house. No contractor would start laying bricks without detail. Yet most people try to build their lives without any plans at all. They wake up each morning hoping success will find them, instead of following a clear blueprint to find success. Start with your end vision. Take out a piece of paper right now. Write down exactly where you want to be in 5 years. Not where others expect you to be, where you want to be. Be specific. Don't write, "I want to be successful." Write, "I want to own a thriving marketing agency with 20 employees and 5 million in annual revenue." Vague goals produce vague results. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They stop at the big vision. But your blueprint needs 3 distinct layers: your long-term vision, your monthly milestones, and your daily. Think of it like a satellite navigation system. Your vision is your final destination, your monthly milestones are your major turning points, and your daily actions are the step-by-step direction. Let me share a technique I call the Success Hour. Every Sunday evening, spend 1 hour planning your week. Break your monthly goals into weekly targets. Then break those weekly targets into daily actions. If your goal is to write a book, your weekly target might be 2 chapters, and your daily action would be writing for 2 hours each. Your daily actions are the building blocks of your success. Small, consistent steps create massive results over time. A woman in Houston used this blueprint method to transform her life. Her vision was to own a chain of fitness centers. She started with one daily action, spending 30 minutes every morning studying business plans. Within 3 years, she owned 3 successful locations. Her blueprint turned her dream into reality. Track everything. Your blueprint needs feedback to stay on course. Create a simple tracking system. It could be a notebook, a spreadsheet, or an app. Record your daily actions, your wins, your setbacks, your insights. This isn't just record keeping. It's creating your personal success map. Here's a powerful truth. What gets measured gets improved. When you track your progress, patterns emerge. You'll see which activities bring you closer to your goals and which ones waste your time. You'll notice when you're most productive and when you tend to slack off. This information is gold. Use it to refine your blueprint. Build review checkpoints into your blueprint. Every month, look at your progress. Are you moving forward? Are your daily actions aligned with your goals? Are you staying consistent? Be honest with yourself. Success requires ruthless self. Your blueprint should include what I call course correction protocols. These are pre-planned responses to common obstacles. What will you do when you miss a day of action? How will you handle unexpected setbacks? When will you know it's time to adjust your approach? Plan these responses in advance so you don't have to figure them out in the heat of the... Remember this. Your blueprint is a living document. It should grow and evolve as you do. Don't treat it like a rigid set of rules. Treat it like a trusted advisor who keeps you focused on what matters. The most crucial element of your blueprint is accountability. Share your goals with someone who believes in you but won't let you off the hook. Meet with them regularly to review your progress. The simple act of knowing someone else is watching your progress can be the difference between giving up and pushing through. Your blueprint should include rewards and celebrations. Plan how you'll acknowledge your progress. When you hit a monthly milestone, celebrate it. When you achieve a major goal, reward yourself. This isn't frivolous. It's psychological reinforcement that keeps you motivated for the long. Take action on your blueprint immediately. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right circumstances. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same is true for creating and following your success blueprint. Your blueprint is your personal path to greatness. It's the bridge between your dreams and your reality. It's the difference between hoping for success and engineering it. Start building yours today, follow it religiously, and watch as your life transforms from a series of random events into a masterpiece of purposeful achievement. Most people treat self-care like a luxury car, something nice to have when everything else is taken care of. But here's the truth. Self-care is more like the oil in your engine. Without it, everything else grinds to a halt. The compound effect of neglecting yourself isn't just harmful, it's catastrophic. I remember talking to a CEO in Dallas. He proudly told me how he worked 18-hour days, survived on 4 hours of sleep, and hadn't taken a vacation in 5 years. He thought he was winning at life. 6 months later, I heard he'd suffered a heart attack at age 42. His business success came at the cost of his health. That's not success. That's sacrifice on the altar of achievement. Your body and mind are keeping score of every time you skip a meal, miss sleep, or push through exhaustion. You might not notice the impact today or tomorrow, but like compound interest, it all adds. The small decisions you make about your well-being today create the person you'll be. Building a house of cards. Each card you add makes the structure taller, but also more unstable. That's what happens when you build success without a foundation of self-care. One small breeze, a health issue, a personal crisis, a mental breakdown, and everything. Here's what real strength looks like. It's the business owner who blocks off time for exercise as seriously as client. It's the parent who knows that taking time to recharge isn't selfish. It's the professional who understands that rest isn't a reward for great work. It's a requirement for growth. The compound effect works both ways. Every healthy meal you eat, every good night's sleep you get, every moment of quiet you create for your mind, they're all investments that compound over. One healthy meal won't transform your life, but a year of healthy meals will remake you from the inside. I met a school teacher in Portland who started small, just 10 minutes of meditation each morning. She didn't expect much, but she stayed. After 6 months, her students noticed she was more patient. After a year, her blood pressure had normalized. After 2 years, she'd completely transformed her life, all from one 10-minute daily investment in her mental well. Your energy isn't infinite, but it is renewable if you know how to restore it. Think of yourself like a phone. You wouldn't expect your phone to run forever without charging, so why do you expect that from yourself? Regular rest isn't weakness, it's Here's a technique I call the power hour. Break your day into 90-minute focused work blocks, followed by 15-minute recovery. During those 15 minutes, step away from your work completely. Walk outside, do some stretches, practice deep breathing. This rhythm matches your body's natural energy cycles and helps prevent the afternoon crash that sends so many people running for coffee. And the long-term benefits of self-care are like watching a garden grow. You don't see results the day you plant the seed, but with consistent care, regular watering, proper sunlight, good soil, something magnificent emerges. Your health, energy, and mental clarity are no different. Make self-care non-negotiable. Schedule it like you would your most important business meeting. Put it in your calendar with the same respect you give to client. Guard your sleep like you guard your bank account. Protect your energy like you protect your most valuable possession. Remember this: you can't serve from an empty cup. Every moment you invest in self-care multiplies your capacity to achieve, to create, It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's strategic. Because when you're operating at your best, everyone in your life benefits. Your future self is being created by the self-care decisions you make. Every healthy choice, every moment of rest, every act of self-respect compounds over time to create a stronger, more resilient, more capable you. Take a moment right now and look around you. Everything you see is programming your mind, shaping your habits, and influencing your environment isn't just a backdrop to your life, it's actively creating your life. This truth hit home for me when I visited a struggling writer. She'd been trying to write her book for 3 years, working from her kitchen table. Bills, dishes, laundry, and family photos surrounded her work. Every item was screaming for her attention, pulling her away from her writing. One day, she transformed her tiny walk-in closet into a dedicated writing, nothing but a small desk, a lamp, and her laptop. 6 months later, her book was finished. Her environment had been holding her back, and then it set her. Your mind is like a garden, and your environment is the soil. You can't plant success in soil filled with weeds of distraction and negativity. Every item in your space, every person in your circle, every habit in your routine is either fertilizing your growth or the last time you walked into a gym, something happens to your posture, your energy, your mindset. The environment itself pulls you toward health and vitality. Now imagine if you could create that same effect in every area of your life. That's the power of intentional environment design. I want you to do something radical. Conduct an environmental audit. Start with your physical space. Every object around you should serve one of two purposes: functionality or inspiration. If it doesn't serve either purpose, it's not neutral, it's negative. It's taking up space that could be used for something that moves you. Your social environment is even more crucial than your physical space. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Their habits, their attitudes, their levels of success, they're all contained. You're not just sharing time with these people, you're sharing destinies. This isn't about judgment, it's about direction. Are they moving toward their dreams or just talking? A business owner in Chicago transformed his company by changing one simple thing. He moved his desk into being surrounded by hungry, motivated salespeople, changed his energy, his decisions, and ultimately his results. Your environment shapes you whether you plan it. The only question is, are you going to be intentional? Create success triggers in your environment. Place books where you normally reach for your phone. Set up a workout space that you have to walk past first thing, and put inspiring quotes where you'll see them during moments of doubt. Your environment should make success the easy choice, the natural choice, the automatic. Here's a powerful truth. Clutter in your space creates clutter in your mind. Every unnecessary item in your environment requires mental energy to ignore. That's energy you could be using to build your dream. Start clearing physical clutter, and you'll find your thoughts becoming clearer. Design your environment for the person you want to become, not the person you've been. If you want to be an entrepreneur, create a space that makes you feel like a CEO. If you want to be an artist, surround yourself with creativity. Your environment should pull you toward your future, not anchor you to your past. The most successful people I've met all share one habit. They actively design their environments for peak performance. They know that willpower is over. The real secret is making success the path of least resistance through Consider this. Every item in your space is making a suggestion to your subconscious mind. That comfortable couch is suggesting relax. That dusty treadmill is suggesting exercise is not a priority. That cluttered desk is suggesting chaos is normal. What suggestions do you have? Your environment? Your phone is part of your environment too. Those apps on your home screen, they're either supporting your goals or undermining them. That notification setting, it's either protecting your focus or fracturing it. Design your digital environment with the same intentionality as your physical space. Remember, you don't have to make dramatic changes all at once. Start with one space, one corner, one shelf. Make it a reflection of your highest aspirations. Let it be a beacon that pulls you toward excellence. Then, like a pebble creating ripples in a pond, let that excellence spread to every area of your life. There's a silent thief stealing your dreams right now. It doesn't break into your home. It doesn't force its way into your life. You invite it in every time you say those poisonous words. I'll start tomorrow. This thief's name is postponement, and its price is steeper than you can imagine. I recently spoke with a man in his 60s. With tears in his eyes, he shared his story. 30 years ago, he had an idea for a business. He'd written the plan, done the research, even had interested investors. But he kept waiting for the right time. He wanted more security, better timing, perfect conditions. Now, 3 decades later, someone else had built that exact business into a $1 million success. The price of his postponement wasn't just a lost opportunity. It was 30 years of what if that he can never get back. Every time you postpone your dreams, you're not just delaying success. You're actively choosing failure. That's a harsh truth, but it's one you need to hear. When you say, I'll start my business next year, or I'll write my book when I have more time, you're not being prudent. You're being fearful. Here's what happens when you postpone. Your dreams don't sit quietly waiting for you. They shrink. They fade. They get buried under layers of excuses and rationalizations. Each day of delay adds another brick to the wall between you and your potential. Consider this. If you delay starting for 1 year, you're not just losing 365 days. You're losing all the compound effects of those days. You're losing relationships you could have built, skills you could have mastered, progress you could have made. The real price of postponement is paid in missed opportunities and compound interest of regret. I want you to do something right now. Take out your phone, open your calendar, scroll back exactly 1 year. Think about where you could be right now if you had started then. Now, scroll forward to today's date next year. That's exactly where you'll be if you don't start now, looking back at another year of postponed dreams. A woman in Atlanta broke her cycle of postponement with what she called the 5-minute rule. Whenever she caught herself saying, I'll do it later, she committed to spending just 5 minutes on the task immediately. Those 5 minutes often turned into hours because starting is always the hardest part. Motion creates emotion, and action kills procrastination. Break your goals into such small pieces that postponement becomes ridiculous. Want to write a book? Start with 1 paragraph. Want to start a business? Make 1 phone call. Want to get in shape? Do 1 push-up. The size of your first step doesn't matter. Taking it does. The cost of postponement isn't just personal. It affects everyone around you. Your unused potential doesn't just rob you. It robs the world of your contributions. Someone out there needs what only you can create. Someone needs your book, your business, your innovation, your art. Every day you postpone is a day they go without your gift. Here's a truth that might sting. Procrastination is self-sabotage, dressed up as self-protection. When you tell yourself you're waiting for the right time, you're really saying you don't believe in yourself enough to start now. The perfect time is a myth. The right time is always now. Your future self is begging you to take action today. Every moment of postponement is a moment of life unlived, a dream unfulfilled, a potential unrealized. Don't let another sunrise find you in the same place, making the same excuses, postponing the same dreams. Remember, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Start now. Start small. Start imperfectly. But most importantly, start. Stand up right now. Yes, right now. Feel the power coursing through your body. That energy you feel, that's not just excitement. That's your future calling you to act. Every heartbeat is counting down to your moment of transformation. And that moment is now. Your life has been preparing you for this exact second. Every setback, every victory, every lesson has led you here. Nobody else can take the steps for you. Nobody else can live your dream. Nobody else can prioritize your life. That responsibility, that power belongs to you. Where you started today, listening to these words, you're not the same person anymore. You've seen the truth about self-priority, about the price of postponement, about the power of your choices. Now you face the most important decision. Will you act on what you know, or will you let this moment slip away like so many before? The world is waiting for what only you can create. Your dreams aren't just about you, they're about every life you'll touch, every person you'll inspire, every change you'll create. But it all starts with one decision. The decision to prioritize yourself. To take out your phone right now. Set a reminder for this time tomorrow. You'll either be 24 hours closer to your dreams or 24 hours deeper in regret. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Your future self is watching this moment, hoping you'll make the right choice. Stand up for that future self. Fight for those dreams. Start now. Start strong. Start with everything you've, because life rewards action, and your time for action is now.